leading the nation in scoring at over 23 points per game.
Duke, one of 7 remaining unbeaten teams. They are 11-0. They are 4-0 against ranked opponents. The Red Raiders are 8-3, 0-3 against ranked opponents on the season. And we'd like to welcome those of you just joining us. We are 1 possession into this game. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Duke and Texas Tech. A good defensive play by the Blue Devils to force a turnover at one end, but then Cameron DeBoozer gives it back at the other end. And Lawan Watts, coming off the game of his life earlier this week, banks it in to give the Red Raiders the early lead as we check the Duke starting lineup. Nicholas Jimenez starting his 4th consecutive game. Obviously, Cameron DeBoozer demanding so much attention, the leading scorer in the nation.
And one of the things Texas Tech is going to have to do against Cameron Boozer, they're going to have to make him guard on the defensive end.
Jimenez open, misses the 3. And down with a rebound is Watts. We mentioned the game of his life, 36 against Northern Colorado on Tuesday, and he's got the first 2 baskets in this one.
That 36 was on 12 of 13 from the floor, and one thing you have to watch out with Lawan Watts, he's got a great shot fake, and he uses it.
He can shoot the 3. He's a good passer as well. Texas Tech depleted in the front court. A number of injuries. Toppin is really their only true size and shot blocker, but a good defensive play by Watts.
Texas Tech wanted to come out aggressive on the defensive end, and they have.
And Christian Anderson buries a 3, and what a start for Grant McCaslin's team. Right out of the gates, less than 2 minutes in, Red Raider fans are on their feet here in New York. Here's Caleb Foster on the drive. Can't finish it. Watts the rebound.
And rebounding going to be a big factor in this game. Texas Tech, an excellent offensive rebounding team because of JT Toppin. There are those shot fakes from Watts.
And he lays it in with the left. And how about a 9-0 start? And John Shire needs a timeout.
Defensive team, but they've been in gaps. They've been alert. They've communicated early.
They've allowed 90 or more points in each of their last 2 games, and almost all of the focus from McCaslin has been at the defensive end as Nicholas Jimenez knocks down a 3 to get the Blue Devils on the board.
Jimenez coming off a game against Lipscomb where he did not score. He's been starting the last several games when he took over for Dame Sarr.
Boozer doesn't buy the fakes and knocks it away. Dunbar thought about it, and he is shooting the 3 every now and again this year. Jimenez with a fake, a drive, and a lay-in, and he's got all 5 for Duke.
Boy, really good shot fake by Jimenez out of the left corner. Got Tyree Bryan off the floor and off balance, then drove it with the right hand. Really smart play by the freshman.
At the point for the Red Raiders with the ball, Christian Anderson, one of the best point guards in the country, but they harassed him out near midcourt, and he turns it over.
They just blitzed him off the ball screen, made him back up, but a terrific shot fake and right around Tyree Bryan to get all the way to the rim. When Duke keeps its floor spacing, it's really hard to help on those kind of drives when the ball moves.
Duke this year has been a very good offensive team and a sensational defensive team. Isaiah Evans misses the 3. Texas Tech better at the offensive end so far this season than at the defensive end. In off the bench for the Red Raiders, freshman Jalen Petty out of Seattle. Broke his nose a couple of weeks ago. That's why he's got that mask on.
Coach at Duke in the 1960s. I actually thought that Bill Guthridge had been the fastest. He was right up there, but not as many as Bubas had.
How about JT Toppin? He is going to have to work really hard to get the shots that he wants in this game tonight.
They use him in a lot of screen roll situations, and he's a great roller. He and Christian Anderson work a lot together in pick and roll situations. But you know that JT Toppin wants to get back to that left hand at every opportunity.
Boozer swings it into the corner. A wide open Foster can't get it to go.
It's amazing how many opportunities Cameron Boozer opens up for his teammates. He's the leading assist guy for Duke. Now he's switched off on Christian Anderson.
Anderson averaging 7.5 assists per game, 4th in the nation. Petty slithers into the paint. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but it worked out fine for Toppin.
That's a Derek Wittenberg assist. Wittenberg still insists that that was a pass to Lorenzo Charles.
8-point lead, Texas Tech. Fumbled away by Evans. Duke was plagued by turnovers in the first half of their game against Lipscomb a few days ago before they recovered to put them away in the second half. Anderson tipped away by Malik Brown, one of the best defensive players in the nation.
Good pass.
Watts open. In and out. Boozer the rebound.
Well, you get 2 on the ball, and Christian Anderson passes out of it so effectively.
Boozer guarded by Toppin. And
you got to take it off. And Boozer just really intelligently just went right into that arm to draw a cheap foul and get 2 free throws out of it.
And fouls on Toppin are a huge key to this game because of the injuries that we alluded to. Texas Tech is really, really thin up front with Luke Bamboye, Mario Aquintuk, and Josiah Mosley, all of whom would figure into the front court rotation, all of them out with injuries. Petty no, and Brown down with a rebound for the Blue Devils.
Anytime Boozer switches, Duke switches 1 through 4. They need to really go ball screen.
To the Elite Eight last year before they lost a close game to the eventual national champions, the Florida Gators. Wide open 3, and Dame Sarr, who has been struggling this season, no longer a starter for this Duke team, but still a player with a lot of upside. He knocks down a long jumper.
Well, anytime Boozer gets double teamed, and he did right there, Duke wants to pass out of it. But how you beat a double team is pass out of it twice. And that's what they did to get it to Sarr.
Sarr very active defensively as well. Open 3 for Donovan. Atwell won't go. He is a really good 3-point shooter. Texas Tech as a team shoots the 3 well. Caden Boozer
to operate more as a scorer, which is more his natural position.
So Duke has gotten back into it after the Red Raiders bolted out to a 9-0 lead to start the game. This is Anderson, his second year in the program, and again 7.5 assists per game, and he can score it as well. Misses that 3. Sarr down with a rebound.
Those are shots that he normally makes. He's an excellent contested jump shooter. And he averages, you were saying, averages close to 8 assists a game, but also 19 points.
Right. Sarr on the drive. Boozer got a finger on it, but back comes Toppin.
Boy, Texas Tech is going to have to gang rebound on the defensive end in this game.
Duke has much better rebounding numbers on the season than the Red Raiders do, and it makes sense. Duke has great positional size. Everybody who plays at least 6'4". Watts again loves to back his man down, and he does it again.
Well, especially when he has a size advantage. At 21 against Illinois, had a terrific game against LSU with a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. He can play.
He's got a lot of game. He can pass out of the post as well. The big guys on both teams, good passers. There's Boozer finding Sarr, and way short on the corner 3. Knocked away by Brown. As we mentioned, one of the best defenders in college basketball at any position. Brown with the offensive rebound. Caden Boozer misses a 3. And Watts leads him the other way.
Boy, Malik Brown has amazing hands.
Top year, then comes last year, and what does he do? He's the Big 12 Player of the Year a season ago, a consensus second-team All-American, and just a guy who can help you win games, Jay, so many different ways.
Well, the one area that's his kryptonite right now is free throw shooting. I mean, he shoots under 50% from the foul line. That means you just can't allow him layups or dunks. You have to foul him and make him earn it from the free throw line. And Texas Tech, not a great free throw shooting team overall. They don't get there often, and they don't make them as often as they should when they get there.
Just under 67% as a team on the season. Foster back in there for Duke. Evans has returned as well.
There's some tough matchups.
Boozer on the bench right now. Foster for 3. And he is having a nice bounce back year in this his junior season after last year was a struggle for him through much of the year.
Made the biggest bucket in the Breslin Center against Michigan State. When Duke won that game against the Spartans, that three he hit was huge.
Anderson steps back, now has Patrick Gungba the second on him. Toppin inside, lays it in.
He is so quick off the floor. Once JT Toppin catches the ball, he is going to get to that left hand no matter what.
It is amazing when you watch game after game of the Red Raiders how hard they work sometimes to get him to use the right hand and how skilled he is at getting back to the right shoulder using the left hand. Here's a mismatch in the post. Gungba up and in.
That's going to be so difficult for Lawan Watts to have to guard. They're not sending a double. And you know that Patrick Gungba is going to go after him at every opportunity.
Watts gives you everything he has, but he is still undersized to play the four-man. But again, because of the injuries, they just don't have many options up front. Watts will put up the three. Not close, and here come the Blue Devils.
Not a very good offensive possession right there for Texas Tech, but Watts is going to have to front Gungba when he gets down in the post. But it's hard to front him for that long because he can move you up the lane. They can just throw over the top.
Harris keeps it in bounds. Again, Gungba and Watts with the shot clock at 10. Darren Harris knocks down to three, and Duke has its first lead of the night. And Grant McCaslin, some of the things that have to improve. It's not a lack of talent. It's about some of the attention to detail that has to improve in his mind at the defensive end.
Well, I don't think Grant McCaslin is worried about Texas Tech's ability to score, but they've got to get stops to be an elite team.
Toppin this time up and in with the right.
You don't send a double at him. He's a difficult matchup in a back down. He's so athletic, and that motor of his never stops revving.
Toppin on Boozer right now. Hemenya put 5 points in the first 2-3 minutes of the game, but it misses that three.
So far, the Texas Tech guards have done a nice job of helping the big guys out on the glass. They're sending all five to the defensive glass.
We have only seen 6 players on the floor in this game for Texas Tech. And is it possible, Jay, as we get another look at the last Toppin bucket, is it possible that they will only use 6 guys tonight?
They only used 6 against Arkansas.
Yep.
They've done it before. I think it depends on how the game goes with regard to fouls, and you certainly don't want to see anybody twist an ankle or anything, but you always have to be concerned about that. But yeah, you could see him go with 6.
Toppin with a screen and a re-screen. Watts with a shot fake. Boozer doesn't bite. Shot clock at 5. Anderson. Boozer the rebound.
But Boozer's so hard to move because his low base is so strong.
His dad Carlos is here in attendance watching his sons play, Cameron and Caden. And there's Cam Boozer banking it in, so skilled in the post as well.
He's got an amazing feel for the defense. With his back to the basket, he can feel where you are, and he's got counter moves to go with his go-to moves.
Watts into Toppin, knocked away by Gungba. Game's also streaming on the ESPN app. Toppin guarded by Boozer. Anderson misses a three.
He's the guy that really has to get going for Texas Tech. He can put up points in a hurry, Christian Anderson.
Here's a guy John Shire would love to see get going on a consistent basis. Isaiah Evans, he is scoreless tonight. A nice pass from Boozer, cross court to Sarr for
on the way down, or the bench.
So 2 free throws for Atwell.
And John Shire obviously upset with Dame Sarr just for taking away the momentum of that three.
And it cost him a couple of points.
5 assists and 5 blocks against that massive Gator front line. Right now, Dame Sarr just face guarding Christian Anderson with his size.
Red Raiders started hot, led 9-0, now down by 3. Anderson creating space. Bounces it into Toppin, and good defense by Gungba.
Boy, having that size on Christian Anderson made a difference.
Caden Boozer crosses over and lays it in. He looks so comfortable in transition, doesn't he?
When Texas Tech does not score, it's been their transition defense that's hurt them a bit.
Around and out on the three attempt there by Toppin. A 20% three-point shooter on the season. Cam Boozer with the left. And Toppin comes up with the loose ball. Watts flying down the court in transition. Got stuck under the rim.
He was looking more for the foul than the score. That was a body-seeking attempt.
Don Shire hollering out a play. Caden to Cameron Boozer in the corner. Song got another one. His third three of the game.
Boy, this is the best that Dame Sarr has played this season. He looks so confident.
Watts trying to get around. Cam Boozer kicks it out. Horner off the glass and good. Leon Horner averaging 10 minutes per game, 3 points per game. Banks one in, a much-needed bucket for the Red Raiders.
Well, Graham McCaslin was telling us today at the shoot-around that he's got good scoring instincts.
Boy, I'll tell you, Gungba is getting really physical, initiating contact with Toppin on his way down the court. Kicks it out to Caden Boozer, who knocks down a three.
Duke is catching Texas Tech in rotation and taking advantage of the Red Raiders with that extra pass.
Watts wants to go one-on-one with Sarr. Wants to back him down.
Gotta watch the shot fake.
Gets it to go. He's got all kinds of game down in the post.
He transferred in from Washington State. Averaged about 14 and 7 there, but loves those backdowns.
Again, coming off a 36-point game against Northern Colorado on Tuesday. Sarr. Up
Lower and use leverage. That's the best you can do. And I'm not sure fronting is the right answer. Well, maybe if you stay behind and try to push him off the lane, you've got more of a chance.
Anderson gets the switch. Brown on him. Now back to Watts. Driving on Caden Boozer. 10 to shoot. Anderson can't get a shot off over Brown and turns it over.
Brown knocked it away from him. His hands are amazing.
Boozer underneath to Brown, who lays it in at the other end.
Boy, this is a really important 2:20 stretch for Texas Tech. They got to stay in this one.
There's been a 19-point swing in this game. The Red Raiders led 9-0, and now Duke's up by 10. Watts, not this time.
And without Toppin in there, 0 offensive rebound opportunities.
Caden Boozer. Evans puts up a three. And a good job by Horner to hold off Brown and come down with the rebound.
But Brown almost got a hand on that one.
Anderson the drive, lost it, knocked away from behind. Was that Brown again?
Might have been.
Harris inside, and he'll head to the line.
Confident out on the floor, you can see it.
And that lead is now up to a dozen, the biggest of the night for the Blue Devils.
Boy, Malik Brown makes it hard just to get a catch in the scoring area. Got to be so worried about his hands.
As it was said at practice today, the Texas Tech practice, he's got the best hands in the country. Can't let him knock it away from you. Watts lays it in with the left, and he is doing everything he can to keep his team in the game.
When he gets a switch, Juwan Watts, his eyes just get bigger.
Well, if they can get a score and a stop, given that they played without Top in the last few minutes, Grant McCaslin might feel okay about things heading into halftime.
That would definitely stop the bleeding.
Anderson can't get by Caden Boozer. Good defense. Atwell inside. Horner reverses it up and in over Boozer.
Boy, what a great recovery by Leon Horner.
He has given them some energetic, much-needed minutes off the bench. Shot clock turned off. Duke can hold.
I think you got to let Cam Boozer touch it.
Here it is. Do they double? Here it comes. And Cam finds Caden. Boozer to Boozer for the bucket. Anderson leaves it short.
But their big-time guard, Christian Anderson, has got to get going. He only had 4 points, 1 of 4 from the field in the first half.
It's kind of amazing given that they only made 1 3. Toppin picked up 3 fouls. Anderson was unable to get shots off. That they were only down 10, but now it is 13 after Caleb Foster buries a 3 to open the second half.
You know, for Texas Tech, that's just too easy. You know, Christian Anderson didn't rotate back out with a sense of urgency to really get pressure on that shot, or at least make Caleb Foster think about putting the ball on the deck.
Grant McCaslin has made a change in his starting 5 here in the second half as Watts lays it in. He's got a game-high 16. Tyree Bryant started the game, played just over 3 minutes, did not come back in. And Leon Horner, who checked in later on in the first half, is a starter here in the second half. And he is on Boozer right now. Kameni is open. The assist to Evans, and now 9 made threes for Duke.
Duke is just making the extra pass. You know, JT Toppin had to get out to the wing, and then just a quick swing to Hemenia in the corner for an easy catch and shoot.
Watts will step back, miss the long-range jumper, tipped by Toppin. Duke ball.
Duke playing out of the post, the quick skip and the extra one. It's not just the first pass, it's the second pass that really burns Texas Tech on the rotation, gets them into scramble mode.
Red Raiders would love to get healthy in time for conference play. As we mentioned, the Big 12 is so strong this year. A lay-in for Boozer.
VCU was an excellent defender. He was all defensive team in the Atlantic 10. And one of the top shot blockers in the country last year.
They also would have some size with Mariel Aquintock, a 6'11" redshirt freshman. And another player we mentioned earlier on, Josiah Mosley, a transfer from Villanova. He has yet to play this season. All of them out with injuries. And again, hopefully they will get at least a couple of them back before too long. Because in the Big 12, they're going to have to deal with Arizona and Houston and Iowa State and BYU and Kansas and others. Evans misses the 3. Gumba is fouled. Is it Toppin?
It is.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was. I think it's Watts.
Well, then they're going to get lucky because he was from the backside.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think the foul went on Watts, and as it is, it's his 3rd.
Offensively, Texas Tech needs more of what they just did, which is that slot pick and roll to get it out of his hands. They were swiping at it.
Gumba right back to Foster. Too strong off the glass. Can they get Anderson going at the offensive end? Toppin one-on-one with Gumba. Atwell short on the 3. Rebound Evans. Into Boozer for the easy 2. They don't have an answer down there.
Well, Christian Anderson was trying to front him, and Duke intelligently got it to the right angle. They got it to Gumba up top for the dump down.
And Duke starting to pull away, now up by 16.
When Cameron Boozer's in the post, he's always open. You just have to get the ball to the right angle.
Toppin held by Gumba and draws the
second pass that will lead to an open shot.
Menu thought about it. Atwell on him. Malik Brown back into the game for the Blue Devils was his usual outstanding defensive self in the first half. A menu with the fake and the drive blocked from behind, but it's tipped right to Brown, who banks it in.
And Malik Brown, even though he's not a big-time scorer, and he's only averaging about 6 points per game, doesn't take a lot of shots. He's shooting about 75% from the field, but he's such a valuable piece because of his defensive versatility and really defensive brilliance.
A much-needed three there for Donovan Atwell and the Red Raiders.
Well, Nick Kamenya turned his head when the ball went inside, just kicked back out. And he couldn't recover, couldn't find Atwell for that catch and shoot.
Kamenya open on the wing. Rebound Watts. Watts has played every second of the game. Atwell and Anderson have as well. 3 Texas Tech players have been in the game for its entirety.
Well, you can't back down Malik Brown because he knocks the ball away from you. He knocked it away from Watts there. And the best offensive rebounders in the country. He averages almost 5 offensive rebounds a game. And this one, I think he's only got 1.
Watts picks up his dribble, finds Atwell. Anderson with Sarr on him. Sarr, a very good defender, lots of length. Shot clock's down to 2. And Anderson never is able to get it off over Malik Brown.
And Malik Brown switched off on him. He got that kind of size and the ability to move feet, great hands. And Christian Anderson just couldn't see the basket.
Boy, ask anybody in the Duke program about Malik Brown. He offers so much more value than the numbers would indicate. Cam Boozer to a cutting Sarr. And that's a travel.
When Sarr has been on Christian Anderson with his length and athleticism, he's really made things difficult on the Texas Tech guard. I mean, averaging 19 points a game. He hasn't been able to get anything in this one.
Sarr, a freshman from Italy who has previous pro experience in Spain. Anderson with Cam Boozer switching on to him. A little push there by Anderson to create the space and knock it down.
That little step back, really the only space he's been able to create in the first 27 minutes of this game.
Sarr's hit 3 of them already tonight, not this time. And Watts the rebound.
That's a heck of a box out by LaJuan Watts on Malik Brown.
Watts chosen preseason as the Big 12 newcomer of the year. There's a foul by Darren Harris with 12:53 to go.
But Duke's had some nice contributions from his bench in this game. Dame Sarr's come in, done a good job. Darren Harris, Caden Boozer.
8 of the 9 Blue Devils who have played have scored. The only one who hasn't is Isaiah Evans, a starter, who is their second leading scorer on the season. And that's been one of the questions asked about this Duke team at times this year, Jay. As good as they are, do they have that, go-to number 2 guy behind Cam Boozer? And can they be a great team if they don't know who their night in, night out number 2 guy is?
Well, a good way to play is have the go-to guy be the open man. And that's the way they've been through most of the season.
And remember, Toppin's got 4.
This is the guy here with the ball in his hands. Christian Anderson has to take over.
Still just an 8-point game. Anderson, Toppin, Groves open, and an air ball on the corner 3. Shot clock does not reset as the Red Raiders get it back. Petty, 6-point game. I would doubt at any point, even in practice, Grant McCaslin has had this group of 5 on the floor at the same time.
I can't imagine it either.
Cam Boozer going at Toppin. Good help by Anderson.
Shoots under 50% on the season. So free throw blockouts become a big deal.
Gumba hits the floor hard. The ball is loose. The Red Raiders have it. Toppin will kick it out. Groves Groves misses it, but another offensive rebound, this time by Anderson. Boy, what an effort being put forth right now, given everything they are dealing with by Tech. Petty, no. Followed by Anderson, and it's a 2-point game.
How about the grit of Texas Tech?
And again, he is the second leading scorer for Duke on the season at better than 12 a game. He's only attempted 3 shots. Groves is on Boozer. They're keeping Toppin away from him. He's on Brown. Evans now has scored.
Just a little fade screen and then a re-screen to bring Evans back to the ball, and he turned the corner.
Anderson gets a couple of screens. Short on the 3. Evans the rebound. Fouled by. Misses the front end as Boozer and Toppin both went crashing to the court.
Well, Texas Tech dodged one right there.
Anderson again around a couple of screens. Toppin surrounded in the paint, just couldn't get it up over the rim enough to knock it down, and it's still a 4-point game.
Well, Malik Brown did a really good job of keeping his body between Toppin and the basket. Just make him make a tough one over you.
Duke fans now making the noise. Probably about 3/4 Duke fans here at the Garden tonight. Evans puts it on the deck again, scoops it up, and draws another. Four guards and Toppin on the floor for the Red Raiders. Petty finds his seam. Couldn't finish it. Do you think at any point today Nolan Groves thought he would be covering Cam Boozer for several minutes on end in this game?
Only in a nightmare he had last night.
Extra pass from Foster to Jimenez. Good closeout by Anderson. Shot clock at 4. Foster. Yes.
Well, that's a big bucket by Caleb Foster.
Throws the screen to try to free up Anderson. Into the paint, steps back and hits. Boy, he's crafty.
Well, he's so good at getting a defender on his hip and unbelievably patient off pick-and-roll situations.
Keeping them within striking range. Down by 6, 7.5 to go. Boozer. Long strides into the paint and a chance. This ball pressure by Foster on Anderson. Now Brown switches onto him. That last foul before the break, by the way, was on Donovan Atwell of Texas Tech. Anderson now trying to shake Jimenez. Now Boozer, he has seen 4 different defenders in this possession. Toppin surrounded and turns it over.
Toppin hesitated and Duke swarmed to the ball with active hands.
Duke patient at the offensive end. Jimenez won't force. Into Boozer. Kick to Foster. Wide open. And Boozer took it away from Toppin to lay it in.
Well, Toppin had that ball in his hands and Boozer just took it away from him.
And that is not the kind of thing that happens to J.T. Toppin very often. All of a sudden, it's an 11-2 run for Duke. Again, after Texas Tech had gotten within 2. Anderson with a long 3.
Well, that's what Texas Tech needs, is for Christian Anderson to just go crazy here. He's got a green light and he can take advantage of it.
He's up to 17.
There's that action with Evans setting a ball screen for Boozer.
A steal by Anderson. Oh, and Boozer gets back to take it away. And good defense there by Groves. Didn't foul Brown and bothered him enough. Anderson again. for Christian Anderson, who's now got 20.
What a turnaround. Looked like Duke had a layup, then they give up a three.
16 of Anderson's 20 here in the second half. Foster spins back to Cam Boozer. Amenya. And Texas Tech has it again. Boy, some of these guys have to be exhausted. Again, Anderson and Atwell have played every second. And Toppin has not missed all that much. And it's been rugged, tough basketball because he's been seeing a lot of different defenders tonight. Evans the switch on to Anderson with a shot clock inside 10.
Now they got a switch with Boozer on Anderson.
Ball's loose. Shot clock at 3. The force. Got it on the rim. Toppin lays it in, and it's a three-point game.
How did Anderson get that shot off?
This is pretty remarkable stuff, again, given who is not playing right now for Texas Tech.
Especially with Gungba and Boozer on the floor at the same time. So expect Duke to go inside where their big guys have drawn fouls, and they've also been able to pass the ball out of the post.
Playing a 6'5 freshman in Nolan Groves, who does not play very much. And not only is he playing big minutes, he's guarding Cam Boozer every time down the floor. Harris forces up a three. Anderson trying to corral it, and Toppin will.
They got to get the ball in Anderson's hands here.
Inside 4 minutes in a one-possession game. Toppin can't get by Gungba. Petty with Gungba on him. Does he want to drive him? Into Toppin. Too strong off the glass. Gungba the rebound.
Couldn't really corral it with that left hand when he made a difficult catch.
Hayden Boozer floats it up and in.
Really smart attack by Caden Boozer in transition. Grant McCaslin not very happy with Jalen Petty after that last decision that he made on the offensive end. This is where Texas Tech wants the ball, with Christian Anderson making decisions.
Gungba switches onto him. Deep three. Got it! And it's a two-point game. What a second half for Christian Anderson.
He can go off on you, and he's proving it in the second half.
Boy, right now Duke probably fearing him more than Toppin the way that this game has developed. 2:45 to go. 5 on the shot clock. Foster spinning into the paint, and they do not get it off.
So impressive.
Looking for the lead on this trip. Toppin trying to back down Boozer. Easier said than done. Turnaround. Boy, maybe not what he thought he wanted to do, but he knocks it down, and the Red Raiders have the lead.
Well, we are just saying big-time play after big-time play.
1:20 to go. Evans has it knocked away. Anderson in transition. Goes! They've gone from 17 down to up by 4 here in the second half.
You got to go to Cam Boozer here. They isolate him on the elbow.
He kicks it out. The three. Hayden Boozer from the corner. And it's a one-point game.
He just has the ability to make the right play.
Anderson spins out of harm's way. We are into the final minute of regulation here in New York. The Red Raiders with the ball and a one-point lead.
They're not going to bring Toppin up to set the screen because he's being guarded by Malik Brown.
Anderson almost loses his footing. Now he does.